Tony.
Hmm.
Did I hear right when I listened to you when you were talking to someone in the break, that you said that Ramana Maharishi was still dualistic?
Well, no, it's really got nothing to do with anyone.
Yeah, right.
There are no teachers, so there is no Ramana Maharishi, just as there is no Hitler. But the words that I have read that were supposed to have been spoken and have been interpreted and translated 600 times, some of those words are clearly dualistic because they speak to a supposed person who can choose to do something. But it doesn't matter anymore. I mean, I think it's very difficult with people who aren't around anymore. You know, you can't phone them up and, you know, phone up Ramana and say, hey Ramana, what did you know? So, as far as I'm concerned, it seems that really this thing is most powerful in aliveness rather than words on bits of paper. And all we have of supposed Ramana Maharishi is words on bits of paper. Yeah?
He seemed to have given, at least to some people, a method
Yes.
self-inquiry.
Yes.
And when I first read in a book that you have to trace the me feeling back to the source,
Right.
I always wondered, how can I do that?
Yes.
I found it impossible.
No, absolutely. It is. Well, it is. It's actually contradictory. It can't be done. But the argument was that in some way or other, what he thought, or what was said about him was that he saw people at different levels and therefore worked with people at different levels. As far as I'm concerned, this is again an ignorance. There isn't anybody at different levels. You can't cultivate understanding and rise to another level with this. You can in your search for what is supposed to be enlightenment because you think it's something that's personal to you. But this has nothing to do with people being at different levels. This is about childlikeness. There aren't different levels of childlikeness. There aren't different levels of oneness. There is bloody oneness, or there isn't. You know, don't you start getting into that idea that somehow there are some people that can understand this and some people are not. You're back into a total ignorance. This has nothing to do with understanding. This is, we are this. It's totally natural and simple. It doesn't need levels. And directly you start saying to somebody, well, you need to go through a process to come to the level, to become worthy to comprehend this, you are imprisoning people. You're just imprisoning them.
But Tony, I'm accepting what you say, but is there never any validity in the principle of using a thorn to remove a thorn?
Well, yes, in terms of concepts, that can happen. But that has nothing to do with personal volition. If somebody walks in, and if a separate individual walks in with a concept about the nature of enlightenment, and that concept is destroyed or dissipated by a clear concept. If that concept is confused and it's dissipated by a clear concept, all you have is somebody that no longer has a confused concept. But you still have somebody. The whole point is you still have someone.
Yes.
You can have somebody who, I mean, I know people who can write this out in 5 sentences, what I'm talking about here. They can just write it out. They understand it totally, and it's meaningless. Because all they do is understand it. That's why I'm saying that the whole idea that people, you know, are at different levels is just it's just nonsense. There's such an arrogance to think that, you know, there are people out there at different levels of understanding. It's an arrogance and an ignorance about the nature of oneness. Are there different people in this room who are sitting on seats at different levels?
Mine is higher.
Yours, yeah. But certainly, yes, certainly, verbally we are only really exchanging concepts that point to something else. So in that sense, that confusion can meet clarity and be dissipated by it. But confusion is only oneness it's an expression of oneness. Confusion is as much an expression of oneness as clarity is. You know, if oneness wants to be confused, then oneness will be confused, I've noticed.
When you say this second quality that Ramana said, this who am I, or what is this I, when you say it's somehow useless, for me...
No, I didn't say it was useless. What I'm saying is there is no one who can do it.
Yeah, that's
There's nothing that's useless. Your meditation is meditation, and marmalade is marmalade. But, you know, who's going to do it?
Yeah.
It's very simple. What we've been talking about is totally and utterly simple. It's totally immediate. It's this. It's aliveness. It's this. Okay, so initially it's the seeing of aliveness. It's just seeing that all there is this. Always all there is this. Doesn't matter where you go tonight, where you go tomorrow, it will be seen that all there is this. Look. This. Aliveness. There's only ever aliveness. Doesn't matter where you go and what you do, you can't achieve aliveness, you can't learn to see aliveness, there is just aliveness. So you don't need anybody to tell you that. You don't ever need to come to another meeting to find out that all there is aliveness. It already is that.
But why is it so difficult to accept?
Because you're always looking for something. We're always looking for something. Something else, something in time. We're always, because we think we are individuals living in something, then we're always looking for something else. And we have a picture of what we think we're looking for, which isn't this. So, hardly ever is there just the seeing of this. There's always a living in anticipation of something to come. What we don't realize is that this is what we're looking for. And it's constantly here. It is constantly what is, rather than what could be.
But doesn't the aliveness select you? In other words, it's not so much us just looking for, or letting go of the story.
No, it isn't. It just happens.
It just happens. It's like when it's, you know, I hate to use time, but when
Well, it just happens.
when your time comes, boom.
No. Yes, but also these words somehow point to it
Yeah,
and destroy any idea that there's anything to get or anything to find. That's what can happen and does happen.
Is it right when I...
Say?
Is it right when I say I am that?
Not really. It's getting near. Because the person that said I am that also said that nearer is I am, and nearer is I, and even nearer is. Words can never say it.